Yo, Gun Freak Nation, Mr. President, TElectrik, and I am begging you, if you are on the fence about buying you a firearm, it doesn't matter what type, as long as you got a gun. What up though, Sean? What up though? Appreciate that, nephew. Much love and respect to you. If you are on the fence about buying a gun, go ahead and make that jump, because what you got to lose? What? Hear me out. And by the way, excuse the fan, but it's currently a heat wave in Detroit right now. I think it's like 95 degrees right now, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Yes, it's a heat wave, and I got to survive this till Tuesday. You feel me? But if you are on the fence about buying you a firearm, what you got to lose? I can tell you this. If you don't have a firearm, what you got to lose? You got your life. You got your wife. You got your children. If you got kids, you got your children. You got your family. You got your loved ones. You got everything to lose. This is why you must have that funky town sender. You got to have that funky town sender on you. I want to talk about a situation that happened in my state, well, really right around the corner, in the suburbs, not in Detroit, but in Rhine, Michigan, which is literally right next door to Canton. I used to live in Canton. I lived out in Canton for 4 years, Canton, Michigan. Rhine is like literally right next door, right on the border with Canton, Michigan. They suburbs. It was an attempted mass shooting this morning at a church out in Rhine, Michigan. And through the grace of God, I can say, like, remember years ago, 10, 15 years ago, when that savage went in that black church, and I believe it was in North Carolina or South Carolina, and he unalived them people after he ate with them and did Bible study with them, and he said they treated him so good that for just a split second he thought about not doing what he had set out to do, which he did anyway. When he went to unalive those people, they were begging and they were praying. None of that saved them. What's different from that situation to what happened today in Rhine, Michigan? They had armed security there. So when that savage went up in that church, he was immediately neutralized. He was put down like the rabid savage that he is or was. That's one less crazy ass savage in the world now, because that church was smart enough to have armed security. Even though they have their conviction, they have their faith, they also realize that God gave you the wisdom to be armed. Because if they would not have had a gun in that church, if they wouldn't have had armed security, I guarantee you the outcome would have been horrific. It would have been another mass shooting. It would have been people running around like chickens with their head chopped off. But because they was able to fight back, the only person that got sent to Funky Town was the person that rightfully deserved it. That bastard was on a mission to unalive people. But he got unalived by a righteous person. And this is the reason, people, my brothers and sisters, that I cannot express this enough. You, turn this fan down. You got to be armed. Don't put yourself in a situation where you at the mercy of a savage, somebody that takes great joy and pleasure in torturing you and making you feel the pain before he finally decides he tired of torturing you, so he gonna go ahead and end it. You don't want your life to be ended like that. Now, I've seen reports now that Iran is definitely indeed making threats that they're gonna put all options on the table. That only can mean one thing. They know they can't beat us in the fair to fair, military on military. They gonna get smashed. They getting smashed now. In my last live, I told you what they gonna do. What's that word again? Damn. The shit, I ain't gonna even try to say it. They gonna resort to terrorism. And I'm telling y'all right now, they got their soldiers, they sleeper cells, they already in this country. You got to be a fool to think that they not already here, and they plotting, and they gonna be activated. They're gonna be activated. This shit, it's gonna be blowback from this. I'm telling you. It's unfortunate that everybody is not going to listen, because everybody think that nothing can happen to them. And that's unfortunate, man. You living in a dream world if you think you immune from being touched by a savage. You gotta get that Funky Town sender. You gotta get that gun. I'm trying to watch. I don't want my channel to be took. YouTube, sending me emails. They demonetized the live from last night. I don't see where I was that graphic. I was just speaking my truth. I was speaking the truth and telling people what to expect for it. But I guess they consider me fear-mongering. I'm just trying to tell people, look, arm up so you can put evil down when it comes your way. That's all I was talking about. But you already know, everybody know this channel is big time being shadow banned, and until they just take away my channel, man, I'm gonna keep on I'm gonna keep on spreading the truth. I'm gonna keep preaching, man. I'm not telling nobody to go out and do no harm and act bad because you got a gun. No, use that utility, use that weapon as a tool to repel the devil. Use it as a tool to repel the savages. Because one thing about a savage, they don't like it when they victims give them a hard time and fight back. They don't like it when they be like, oh snap, shit, I gotta, wait a minute, you mean I got to duck and dodge now because I don't want to get hit by that hot, lead. I don't want to get hit by that hot ass bullet. So let me rethink this. Maybe I'll just leave and find me another victim that's not armed. Because they don't never, one thing about them, They want to give out the pain, but they don't want to receive none of the pain. No, this incident that happened here in Michigan, in Rain, Michigan, I don't know if it was related to what's going on in the Middle East or not. That might have just been a regular crazy ass savage. Like I said last night, we already got enough that we're dealing with. Our hands is already full from dealing with the savages that's already here. The common savages. And I ain't talking about, I'm not talking about a regular thief that's out there hungry and trying to survive. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the motherfuckers that want to do harm to you, that want to come in and, violate you, violate your family, violate your woman, that want to, end your life, delete you off this planet. I'm talking about them. I'm strictly talking about them. And yes, they are out there. Exactly. But unfortunately, I feel this shit, man. I really do. I feel it. I know it. My sources is in touch with me. Homeland Security already have put out a bulletin for people to just be on the lookout for anything suspicious. Even they know that the hit is coming. They know it. I really do feel like we are on the verge of something significant, something big is about to go down. And the country is already divided. We still got these protesters / rioters that's, throughout the country, sparking up shit. The left is the one that's behind that, orchestrating that. All that shit is manufactured. It's manufactured. But I'm talking about something deeper than that, something more evil than that, believe it or not. When those sleeper cells be activated, the only thing I don't know what the target's gonna be. I don't know whether they just trying to do some type of cyber attack, whether they're trying to knock down a power plant, a power grid. I don't know. But the worst case scenario, all of them are bad. But let's just pray that they ain't trying to do a mass casualty event where they trying to, harm as many people as they can. And this is the main reason of all, I don't give a damn if you ain't never been a victim your whole entire life and you grown now. This is the time right now to get armed. You can't be out there naked like that, man. Or woman, you cannot be out there naked like that. You just can't. You don't want to be in a situation where you're hopeless. And you hoping and praying that the police, if you even get a chance to even make it to your phone, who's to say that they're not gonna arrive there in time? I'm not saying, I don't want to put it out like, the police is useless. I'm not trying to go there. I'm not trying to say that. But what I'm telling you is police arrive on the scene in minutes when seconds matter. You can lose your life in seconds if they coming in hot like that. Most of the time, man, I've seen situations, man, where they got tech on their side, man. They got things that will jam your cell phone. They got cell phone jammers. They got Wi-Fi jammers, because most cameras run off of Wi-Fi nowadays. They got shit that can even, uh, uh, they got stuff, they can even hack your car nowadays. They can hack your car. It's like a little computer they carry around, and they can if they can get in it, they can stick it in there. They can override shit and drive away your car, especially if you got the keyless entry cars where you ain't got the when if your car don't take the key. So it's all kind of tech savvy savages out there. If they want your car, let them have it. Because the way things are set up now, you go out there and confront them and you ended up unaliving them, they're going to try to lock you up. Let them have it. Ain't worth it. And I'm not telling you to be a punk and just roll over, but I'm telling you, you always got to look 5-10 steps ahead of whatever the situation is. You got to look at the possible outcome. You can't get stuck right there in the moment, because so many people have lost their life living in the moment, and they made a split-second decision based off of their emotions that cost them their life, or they ended up taking a life. You got to be smart about this shit. You can always get another car. I wouldn't personally, the way I am, I don't want to take nobody's life over a material thing, or over an object. I'm only going to resort to, neutralizing the enemy unless you're trying to neutralize me and take me out, or you trying to do harm to my family. Then gloves come off. And that's when my funky town cinders come into play. You don't let nobody break your peace, or come in your domain and in your home and do harm to your family. I'm telling y'all, next time y'all out, you going to the movies, you going to the mall, you going to the Walmarts, the Meijer, whatever. Keep your head on the swivel, because they are here. All right, they here. And they, trust me, they gonna get their operation started soon. And I don't want to see none of that shit, man. But thanks to this government, the previous administration, allowing that border to be wide open for the last 4 years. Man, Iran might have a freaking army up in here already. I just feel whatever they do, man, I'm leaning towards they're gonna try to do a mass casualty. They want get back real bad. And they want to see that shit on the news where, tens of, hundreds or whatever, all throughout the country, people getting unalived. Because if that shit happened, people was not gonna blame Iran for it. As crazy as that sound, you know who they're gonna blame? They're gonna blame Trump for it. They're gonna point the finger at him. You shouldn't have bombed. You let Israel suck you into it. Now all this blood is on your hands now. That's exactly what Iran is planning to do. They want to put the pressure on him. They want to cause some type of mass casualty event. That's what they want. All the days of hostage taking a hostage for what? Those days are over. They did that shit over in Israel on October 7th, taking a lot of hostages though, but that was just the afterthought. They went over there to slaughter them people. They crossed that border to slaughter as many people as they can. And they grabbed the others just for insurance, because they knew that Israel was going to be on that payback retaliation shit. So We don't unalive a lot of y'all, so let me grab a bunch of y'all so y'all can be my insurance, so I ain't got to worry about a bomb dropping on, over my head. That's exactly what they did with their dumbasses. They the one, if Iran really mad at what's happening to them, they need to be mad at Hamas, because they're the ones that set it off. October 7th is the reason why what's going on right now. And I am telling you, they are planning an October 7th style attack, whether you believe it or not. And them motherfuckers, I'm going to be honest with you, they were successful. I can't help but to think. Man. And I don't even want, I ain't even trying to, be, I just find that Israel, one of the most, they surrounded by enemies. They're supposed to have one of the most secure borders in the country. How could you not see that shit happen? How could you not? It almost seemed like a 9/11. Like, how did that shit even happen? 9/11, when they flew into the trade towers, the World Trade Center. But because of that event, it opened up the gateway into Iraq. If it wouldn't have been if 9/11 would never have occurred, it would never have been an Iraq war, right? So when you look at it like that, if October 7th would have never happened, this wouldn't be going on right now. It opened up the portal to them to attack Hamas and decimate them and destroy Hezbollah, because the way that shit was set up, Iran was slick with their shit. They had Hezbollah, they had Hamas, and they surrounded Israel. And Hezbollah supposed to have had like over 150,000 rockets and missiles and all that shit. And if they touch Iran, Hezbollah was going to rain all them missiles and rockets down on Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, all over Israel. Hamas was going to hit them too, but Hezbollah was the biggest one. When Hamas done that dumb shit, they knocked them out. Then they went after Hezbollah, knocked them out. Iran ain't got the insurance policy no more. Syria was they ally too, but they got knocked off too. Assad got overthrown. So it's Iran by himself, because they not gonna fight for Iran when Iran didn't fight for them when they was getting slaughtered, bombed by Israel. So, but I'm telling you, it ain't over. This shit is not over. I'm telling you, they got terrorist cells, sleeper cells right here in this country. I'm right next door to Dearborn. I'm sure some of them terrorist cells is right here in Dearborn. But I think it's all over the country. They got cells throughout the country. I'm telling you, this shit gonna get bad. And y'all need to be ready. You need to be armed. I can beg you all day, but I can't make you. But when that day comes, when you wake up and when you see multiple attacks throughout this country, malls getting hit, Walmart's getting hit, churches getting hit, festivals, concerts, you name it, any function that got a lot of people could potentially be a target. And it just might be your neighborhood, it might just be your street, your block that you live on. And if you got a bunch of armed terrorists in your neighborhood on the back of pickup trucks, jumping off the back of pickup trucks, heavily armed, going door to door, like they did on October 7th in Israel. I want to know what y'all gonna do. Because a lot of people was not going to be ready, man. Unfortunately, a lot of people was not going to be ready. But a lot of us are. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud. If you got your gun, you the best. You the best. If you got your gun. Because having that gun is the difference, potentially the difference between life and death. And you never want to be put in that position where you don't lost your life because you didn't have nothing to protect yourself. No, for you who watching me right now and you don't have a gun, and I get it, man. Times can be, times is hard right now, man. Everybody that I know pretty much is struggling right now. You know what I'm saying? People are struggling. You just can't just go out and buy a gun. But then again, ain't no excuse at that. I've seen them as cheap as $200 at Palmetto State Armory. So it really, if you save up and get you one. If you ain't got the funds, save up. Even if you got to put $10 up every week, save up. You can't put a price on protecting your life. You just can't, man. Life is so precious. Life is so short. You here and then you leave. You're gone. But I'd be damned if I be gone at the hands of a fucking savage. No, they here somewhere and they plotting, man. I'm telling you, they are plotting, and they're gonna want to take out as many as they can. We are the targets because of this bullshit that's happening over there. And I I'm not mad at them for not wanting them to have a nuclear bomb, man. I try to be fair. I really do. I try to be fair and look at shit from, a situation from both perspectives, right? They want a bomb because they don't want what's happening to, if they had a nuclear bomb, what's happening to them right now wouldn't be happening. Okay? And I'm not saying, I don't think they stupid enough to just, how I feel about it. If they had one, I don't think they stupid enough to try to attack Israel with it. Because if they attack Israel with a nuclear bomb, that's suicide. Why do you think so many years went by and we never went to war with Russia? Because it's something called MAD, M-A-D, MAD, Mutual Assured Destruction. Ain't nobody gonna win. Everybody gonna die. Nobody's gonna win that war. So they trying to get one because they want insurance, because other governments, other countries respect you if you got a nuclear, arsenal, right? They know not to fuck with you. That's why they want one. When they get one, and who's to say? They might already have one. We don't know. But what I do understand is they got sales in this country, and they can be unleashed on us at any time, any day, any place. And I ain't talking about the Janet Jackson song. Y'all need to be ready, please. And I want to salute that guard or whoever that was in that church that was armed, that put that funky ass savage down. I salute you, sir, because you are, in my eyes, you are a hero. But you ain't going to see too much of that on the news. You know why? Because it goes against the left narrative. Because in that situation, a gun saved lives. You're not gonna hear that too much on TV, on the news. No, if that motherfucker would have been successful in his terror campaign and went in there and unalived a lot of people, and they, they just sitting there and running and hiding for their life, man, it'd be on the news right now. It'd be on TV literally right now. But because it didn't go that way, and it was a good guy or a good person with a gun that ended the situation before it even started, they don't care. How many times have y'all seen the news where a woman been on a, something bad done happened to a woman, and they always want to talk about getting a restraining order. They always want to talk about, praying. They always want to talk about just leave. Nobody talks about, hey, maybe you should go out and buy a gun and, practice with it. Make sure that it shoots, it functions, that it's functional, that it actually will fire you if you pull that trigger. And that way, it won't be no more situations. You will be, that motherfucker come after you, put him down. You don't never hear that on, you never see that or hear that, right? Because they are anti-guns. Anybody that tell you that you shouldn't be armed and that people that got guns are crazy and weird or whatnot, man, that person is not looking out for your best interests. That's an idiot. That's an idiot that think like that, and you would be, oh shit, you would be surprised how many idiots right here in this country that think like that think that a gun is the reason for all of the crime and all of the death and destruction. But nobody talks about the countless lives that having a gun can save. Nobody, you don't hear too many stories about that, but it happens all the time. When somebody done been put down, when they got out of line, they trying to take your life, but you was smart enough to arm up and buy a gun, and now you still here to live to see another day. Well, this is what this is about, people. I want y'all to be here to see another day, because we don't know how long we got before, the Most High, take us up out of here. But we ain't got no control over that. But what we do got control over is owning a gun and being able to fight back. That's what we got control over. We got control over our own destiny. Don't be no victim. Shout out to everybody in here. Wow, man, I can't believe I got 67 people up in here at almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. And I'm sorry I haven't been reading the comments, But I just felt compelled to go live again. I got to do this more often. I like to actually I like this platform better than me just recording a video and then uploading it. And I like to actually talk to y'all in real time, and I appreciate every single one of you. Every single one of you. And please don't get me misunderstood. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not telling you to go out, buy a gun, and be irresponsible with it. I am telling you, and I'm hoping you do, make that purchase, get it, go to the range, run through it. Make sure that motherfucker go bang every time you scream, even if you gotta shoot 100 rounds through it the first time. Break it in. So you will have it in case somebody try to break in on you, break in your house. So much. It made me think about that teacher, man. Sometimes I can't help but like, man, I wish she would have been armed. Man, I wish she would have made sure that her windows and doors were like, you know, just secure, you know. But we got a teacher that didn't have a gun, and she wasn't even a target. It was some gangbangers broke in the wrong apartment. They was trying to some gangbangers were trying to break into a drug dealer's apartment because word on the street was that the drug dealer had like $15,000 hid in his deep freezer. So those idiots, of course, they got the wrong apartment, right? They got the wrong apartment. They broke into the teacher's house. One of them climbed through a window. She had a window that was unlocked. That's mistake number one. And God, you know, may she rest in peace. But that was mistake number one. She had a window that was unlocked. One of the funky ass gangbangers climbed through the fucking window and then slid open the patio sliding glass doors to let the other two savages in. Once they got in, the first place they went was the kitchen, because she happened to have a deep freezer too. They searched the deep freezer, no money. They searched the kitchen cabinets, no money. The last place to look, they walked down the hallway. That was her bedroom. I don't know whether that woman I don't know whether she was asleep or she might have just been chilling in her bed watching TV. But I ain't even trying to get graphic, y'all. If y'all want to hear that whole true story, go into the video. I got a playlist called True Crime, and y'all can hear that what they did to her. But they basically tortured her. And then when the idiots realized that they definitely was in the wrong apartment, they unalived her, man. Gun Freak Nation, I need y'all to be alert. I need y'all to pay attention. Ain't nothing like paying attention. I need y'all to look at a situation. If you out and about, I need you to keep your head on a swivel. And if you see anything that sticks out, that grabs your attention, that don't look right, get the hell out of there. Or report it to the police. Even it could be something innocent. This is a situation where you don't want to take no chances. It could be a regular snaggler, everyday savage, or it could be a terror cell. Thank you, Baltimore. Appreciate you, nephew. Baltimore James. Love you, nephew. Appreciate you. Thank you. Matter of fact, you said a firearm instructor shot a student by mistake. Damn, and he probably don't need to be or never should have been a firearm instructor. But I get it. Unfortunately, man, mistakes happen. But damn. Shit. Damn. I hope the person is okay. I hope they, made it. And then I hope they didn't get, hurt too bad. But when you realize that religion, politics, and race was put here, it was all put here to divide us. Believe it or not, all that was going on over there right now in the Middle East, that shit date back decades, man. That's 100, 200 years ago. That's some religious shit that's going on right now. You got people hating one another for the color of their skin. You got people hating on each other because of what religion that they worship. You got people hating on each other because of political differences. You know, I made a mistake, you know, during the election, you know, cycle where I was talking all kind of shit about Democrats and stuff, and I really do sincerely apologize for that. I'm not trying to make nobody feel any type of way. We all God's children at the end of the day. My only concern is love yourself and love your loved ones enough to want to be able to protect them. Because right now, we are facing uncertain times. We know they're going to hit. It's just a matter of time. We know that those terrorist cells are here. But let's just say that they're not here. Somebody out there is sympathetic with Iran. And they might decide to be a lone wolf and do some shit. You just never know what somebody is thinking. And this is why we must be prepared at all times. And the number one in getting prepped up, get your gun. I don't give a damn what type it is. Do get what you are comfortable with in your hand and how it feel in your hand, the recoil. There's a lot of factors that go into it. You got to do your research. I cannot tell you what's the best gun. You know, so many people email me, T, what's the best gun to get? The best gun to get is the best gun for you. Because what's good for me may not be good for you. All I want is for you to rise for the occasion, for that occasion. When they try you, I want you to let them know that damn, we don't ran up in the wrong house. We in the wrong spot. They got guns better than our guns. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want you to have. That's why when you look over on that wall right there, you're going to see a Draco. You're going to see a 45 ACP Chris Vector. You're going to see a KSG. And I got them slugs for them thugs. You hear me? I got the slugs for the thugs. I got the double odd fuck too. Man, we can't afford that shit. We can't. Listen, man. We work hard, we hustle hard. And I'd be damned if I let you come up in my house and take what I worked hard for. See, here in Michigan, we got the Castle Doctrine. Somebody told me in their state they passed the law where somebody break up in your house, you gotta run. Ain't that a bitch? But I guess, that's it. Hey, they in office, they got voting in there, right? Them motherfuckers don't give a fuck about you. Can you imagine somebody breaking up in your house and you can't even fight back? That you gotta run, and if you do fight back, you gonna be brought up on charges. Make sense. Look, this is why I got an issue with the left. They some crazy motherfuckers. That's one thing I am gonna continue to preach. You got idiots like that's in power, that's able to get these unjust, unrighteous laws passed. You break in my house, and when I confront you and I don't see you trying to turn your stanky butt around and run out, and you got a gun, I'm popping first, and then I'm gonna ask questions later. Like, why did you make the mistake of your life? You won't be here to be able to answer my question. But you royally fucked up when you chose my house to break up in. And believe it or not, y'all, I get death threats. I get people sending me emails saying they know my location and you know how what they gonna they gonna break up in my house and do horrible things to me and my woman and hey motherfucker, I wish you would. I wish you would try. You can try it all you want to. You can try it all you want to. I'm not gonna back down in your threats. If you think that I'm gonna stop reaching out to my people in the Gun Freak Nation, you got another thing coming. You got another thing coming. Man, the left, I don't. Hey, do something different. I can't even process the way they mind is wired. I can't. But I knew the day that I knew that the left was crazy was when a brother lost his life. Young brother, a young savage, lost his life because he pulled out a gun at the Detroit police and shot at them. And when they overpowered him, he was still trying to grab the gun and he was still shooting. He had about 2 or 3 cops on top of him. They was able to body slam him. And it was on top of him. He still had the gun in his hand like this, like trying to shoot up at him. So one of the cops took his gun and unalived him. And you had people protesting that shit. And one woman, probably from the suburbs, she had the nerve to say that the police should be defunded and that social workers, instead of police coming out, being dispatched out to your house, they should have it where social workers come to the house instead. Man, I can't make this shit up. I cannot make this shit up. Things have gotten so bad, at least in my neck of the woods in Detroit. Just last week, a woman had to run out of her house screaming for her life. She had to run out of her house screaming for her life. You can't even go to work and come home and relax for a funky ass savage. This woman came home from her job after a hard day's work, went into her house, went into her kitchen to get her something to eat or either something to drink, and she noticed a funky ass savage hid up under her kitchen table. She saw his shoes, his nasty ass shoes, sticking off from under her tablecloth, man. And when she saw that woman, man, it was like she was in a horror movie or something. Can you imagine that? You coming home and you see a motherfucker head up under your table. You see his shoes sticking from under the tablecloth. And she didn't have a gun, obviously. Man, things have gotten so bad. I had my shit for the majority of the day. My shit is holstered to me. You got to have it at any time. Because believe it or not, some people that even got weapons didn't get to them in time because they got them locked up somewhere, stored up somewhere, or hid somewhere. See, everybody think, somebody breaking my house, I'm going to be right by my gun. I'll be able to get to my gun in time. Not necessarily if you keeping it hid somewhere. How you going to make it to get to that gun when they already made entry into your house? You're not going to be able to make it. I know people personally that shit has happened to. And they had guns. I mean, they ain't got them now because the savages took them. But yeah, they was roughed up and you know, knocked upside the head, and they lucky to still be alive, because the majority of the time when they coming in, they ain't coming in for no personal property, no valuables or nothing. You are the valuable, man. And I don't even want to get into the sexual aspect of it. You know, they hopped up on drugs, you know, sexual stimulants. You know, the drugs got sexual stimulants in it. So they hopped up on drugs, man. They might be straight, but with the drugs in their system, they might go to looking at you, and you a man. They might go looking at you and be like, let me bend you over now. That's the type of crazy, neurotic, psychotic, shitty situation that I'm talking about. We talking about savages here. That's what I'm talking. Listen. I know I'm preaching to the crowd, to the majority of y'all. But believe it or not, there's people out there that they just don't get it, man. And I know some people be like, well, fuck them. You know, if they don't give a fuck about their life, man, then I guess they gonna get whatever they got coming to them. They almost deserve that shit. And I ain't even really trying to feel that way, because they don't know better. But I feel like if you know better, you would do better. You gotta realize that we living in a savage, wicked world, and there's people out there right now on a mission to bring nothing but terror and horror to your life. And they don't have a problem taking your life. And that's just a regular, snagular savage out there. Now we got to look over our shoulders for a terror sale. Thanks courtesy of Joe Biden leaving that damn border open for the last 4 years. It's crazy. But anyway, Gun Freak Nation, I just want to tap in, you know, talk to y'all about the situation. Praise God for that gentleman, that hero that put that savage down. See, that savage went up in that church thinking that they was going to be sheep. He probably heard about the other church shootings where everybody was screaming and begging and praying for their life. Oh, Lord, please don't shoot me. Please, God, help. No. He went in the right one that day because they had guns up in that in that sanctuary. You feel me? And he got sent straight to Funky Town. Amen. I salute you, brother, whoever that did that put that savage, that funky savage down. I salute you. You need to be on the news, brother. You a hero. Whoever. I don't know whether it was a woman or a man. I don't know. All I know is they say they security team eradicated the savage and put him down. He can't harm nobody else, y'all. It's one less savage in this world. But who's to say when you at the, you know, the next time you at a Walmart, a Meijer, a movie theater, you know, a club, you know what I'm saying? Keep your head on the swivel. Get you a concealed carry license, because you may have a gun at your house, but you also need to carry one, because sometimes you might encounter a crazy motherfucker out there in the street, out in the world, that's willing to try to take your life. So you got to be on the offense all the time. And when I say offense, I'm not saying don't be out there looking for trouble and trying to instigate and escalate and all that. No. Be on the offense as far as your thinking. Be on the offense as far as being smart enough to sense and sniff out a situation and know, oh shit, man, that don't look right. It don't feel right. So guess what, y'all? I'm removing myself from this situation. It take two idiots, two fools to argue, right? Don't let nobody bait you into an argument, getting you all upset, because the minute that your blood pressure get high from your adrenaline and all that, you gonna lose the oxygen to your brain, because you not gonna be thinking rational, and you might do something that you later will regret. So the best thing in a situation like that, remove yourself. Don't entertain. Don't even be a part of it. Walk away. Be the bigger person and walk away. Walk away. Walk back into your life of the people that love you, that really love you. Walk back, into your freedom. Don't let an ain't shit person get you in a situation. It's many people sleeping in their grave right now, in their grave. It's many of a situation where many of people are locked up in prison right now because they made a split-second decision that cost them their life. So at the same time, Gun Freak Nation, I'm telling you, please stay righteous. Don't fall for the okie doke. Baltimore James, once again, thank you, nephew. Unc, I lose my life before I take a MI. You already know. You already know. But I'm telling you, I've seen situations where, and this I'm talking about right here in my city, y'all, where they have broken in savages and did home invasions, and not only did they assault the woman, the man was assaulted too. Because you got to remember, when they coming in, they already high, man. They don't already took their drugs, and for whatever reason they want to target you. But I'm telling you, it's not about valuables no more. It's about having the power of whether you live or whether you die. They want to come in and terrorize you. They get their joy, they get their kick out of the fear that they instill, that the fear that they are causing. The more you fight back, the more hornier they're going to get, especially if they're attacking a woman. The more she screams, the more pleasure and joy that they take, and that's fucked up. That's horrible. But you get weirdo, evil savages like that. Think about this. In the case of Shannon Christian and her boyfriend Chris Newsom, they were both carjacked, kidnapped, took back to a dope spot, and she had the most horrible death between the two. But he was assaulted too. And it got to the point to where they got bored. So guess what, y'all? These savages, we don't did what we did to them. So, we don't got our nut. So we bored. What we gonna do with them now? We don't got our net. We don't slap them up. We don't rough them up, beat them down. We don't got our nuts off. Oh, wow. Let's take this, let's break this table leg off and ram it up their rectums. And that's exactly what they did. When I read the autopsy report, and if you don't believe me, Google Shannon Christian and Chris Newsom autopsy. It's online. What she went through, both of them went through something, but she went, he was unalive maybe 2 hours until the kidnapping. When they went back to the dope spot, they assaulted him, and they found semen in him, and then something, what they think was an object, which they found a table leg, and it had residue on it, blood and stuff like that. He was tortured, but when they took him to the train tracks naked, and they unalived him. She was at the house. When they went back to the house, she was basically tortured for like damn near 2 days, man. Sexually being tortured. And this is the reason why you need to be armed. Exactly the reason why you need to be armed, because you got evil, sadistic, satanic savages that's out there that get off on that type of bullshit. Some people, when you that evil, you're not even worthy of even, you ain't even worth the air that you breathe. That's how I feel about it. If you a pedophile out there and you want to target, you know, you're not worth the air that you breathe. And they need to be put down. Yes, I said it. If you out there doing harm and you want to torture people and unalive people and torture them before you do it, and you want to target, oh man, you need to be put down. But see, the thing over there is they like, what's that Transformer movie? Robots in disguise. They savages in disguise. A savage can pretend to be the most, coolest, most peaceful person. And then that's when they gonna rear their ugly head as soon as you let your guard down. You can't trust nobody. You cannot trust nobody. So look out for the regular snaggler savages and be on the lookout, because it's coming. And I'm telling you, when it hit, it's going to hit like a motherfucking tidal wave. They going to do some damage, man. And I'm praying to God that they not be activated. But I'm thinking Iran got its back up against the wall right now. And when you got your back up against the wall, have you ever cornered a animal or a rat or a possum or something like that, and you back it into a corner? That motherfucker gone. Hey, desperate people will do desperate. They'll do desperate things. Right now, man, their casket is already there and they in it. And Israel and the United States is putting the final nails in that coffin, but it ain't over yet. They still got tricks up their sleeves, right? I'm telling you, they want a mass casualty event. It's going to be some type of cyber attack. It's going to be some type of attack that's coming. And I don't think it's going to be over in Europe. I don't think it's going to be over in, in another country. I think it's going to be right here in the good old US of A. Courtesy of Joe Biden having them borders open for the last 4 years. I'm so glad I listened to y'all and finally bought me some body armor. So it might be a situation where I might have to go out there and get food or look for food, because if this shit lasts for a long time, eventually our stock supplies going, they gonna be gone. They gonna dwindle up. It's gonna, so eventually you got to look. That's what I've been telling y'all. You got to look 10 steps ahead at what can possibly happen and just plan for it. Have just have something planned out and have alternatives. Have plan 1, plan A, plan B, plan C, and just figure it out and just try to endure and survive it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. We The United States of America, America is the most, the most powerful country in the world. Even though it got its flaws, it got its idiots that's in government. But one thing I would like to say, a lot of us citizens, we are armed. So that gives us a fighting chance. It gives us, that's all I'm telling you. Get your gun to give yourself a fighting chance. And you can't just think for you. You got to think for your loved ones. You may have a family. You don't want your family being a victim. You don't want to be tied up. And you got to listen to your family get, victimized and roughed up and Lord knows whatever else they may decide to do. You don't never want to be in a situation that you don't have control over. Don't let them have control over you. Don't listen to these left-wing, extremists, people that don't want you to arm up. Don't listen to them. Don't let them shame you. And I guarantee you, they probably got a gun. It's the most anti-gun motherfuckers is the ones that got guns. Believe that. The most anti-gun politicians got armed security. You better believe that. This so-called democracy is a hypocrisy. And it ain't no fucking democracy, man. It's a fucking republic. This motherfucker was designed to be divisive. We can't fall for it, y'all. All we got is all we got. That's me and you. That's all we all we got at this point, God Freak Nation. We all we got. I'm not trying to scare y'all. I'm not trying to fearmonger, even though I get called that shit every day. That's what's up. Do something different. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I'm about to jump off. I just felt the need, man. I just had to get this out. I love y'all. I want y'all to stay protected. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't knocking nobody's religious beliefs. Trust me, believe in whatever your heart, your soul desires. I don't care. But what I do care about, don't be so blind in it that, I've had people be like, I don't need no gun. I got these right here. And I'm not doubting them that they probably can fight, but going up against several heavily armed savages, this gonna get you unalive. But I've had people, I'm covered in the blood of Jesus, man. You need to, you don't need all them guns, you don't need none of them. All you need is the Bible. God is my protection. Well, I'm telling you right now, sir, that if that guard out there at that church wouldn't have been armed, a lot of people would have probably made it to heaven. They probably would have made it to heaven. See, everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. And if they tell you otherwise, that's a damn lie. We all got to go one day. But please don't let it be at the hands of a savage. Please. You are worth it. If you having financial issues and you can't buy one, man, there's options. It's gun shops that got layaway. You got Sazzle. Shit, what I love about PSA, they got Sazzle. 4 equal, 4 bi-weekly payments is yours. And you get it right away. You just gotta, continue to make them 4 payments. That's what I fuck with Sazzle. I fucks with Sazzle. Shit, they don't spoil the hell out of me. My credit limit. Shit, what I can go get me one right now. But I don't need it no more. You know what I'm saying? Instead of buying them, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm over, doing that collection shit. You know what I'm saying? There's certain ones I will not get rid of, and I understand the fact you got to be armed, but you ain't got to overdo it. All you need is one. I prefer you have two: a handgun and an AR, handgun or a shotgun, or AR. I mean a handgun or AK. One or the other. You need to have it because guess what? And let me shut up because I ain't trying to offend nobody that got a collection because, I got the collection too. But I'm just saying, you ain't going to be able to take all that shit with you if you have to go on a run. You feel me? Take the two. Make sure they're reliable. And that'll get you a long ways. You know what I'm saying? Get your ammo up. But let's pray for America right now that, it continue. Let's just pray that these terrorist cells don't unleash on us. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know what they got planned. We really don't know. They might have a nuke smuggled already over here with that ride ass border. Already open ride border. You just never know. This is why you need to be ready at all times. Have all that stuff, whatever that's going to benefit you, that's going to give you the upper hand when it comes down to the fight, because it's definitely going to be a spiritual war for sure that's going to take place. It's happening right now. It happens every day. We got people that's out here that's up to no good. They ain't got shit to do with what's going on in the Middle East. I'm talking about the everyday American snaggler savage that's out there right now. Is somebody out there right now up to no good? Somebody being victimized right now. It's a crime happening right now, literally, in this country, in this city, in your city. And you got to be ready at all times, man. You don't know when something gonna jump off. You can be, man, I'm about to go and get me a milkshake from McDonald's, Let me get some chicken nuggets or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. I don't feel like cooking. It's hot as hell. You in the drive-thru. Next thing you know, you getting carjacked or somebody, trying to rob you, man. And it can go either two ways. Because I got mine on me and I ain't gonna let you. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. If I see you make a wrong move and you got your hands in your pocket and I see you coming out with, hey, I'm gonna get you before you get me. Because I don't know what your intentions is. Sometimes when you get robbed, they just want your wallet, they want your valuables, right, and they leave you be. But you think I'm gonna wait to see what your option gonna be? Maybe you having a bad day. Maybe you just want to take it out on me and unalive me. I'm not gonna fucking wait to see whether you gonna, harm me. Especially when I got my Funky Town sender already on me, cocked and loaded, baby. You got to be strategic with this lifestyle. And you got to, with your Funky Town sender, man, get to the range. And I know I need to practice what I preach, but I know that my shit works. And for all you naysayers, where's the next round? Nigga, kiss my motherfucking ass. Long as I know that motherfucker go bang. You come up in my house, that motherfucker go bang. I do know how to point and fucking aim. I touched on that shit. I touched on that situation last night when I went live. Go to the range and shoot that motherfucking piece of paper all motherfucking day. But I guarantee you, when the real motherfucking savage come and that motherfucker shooting back at you and ducking and dodging and weaving and all that shit and shooting back at you, that's where the real motherfucking training gonna kick in. I go there for a function test. You hear me? I make sure, like that Draco right there on the wall. Every time I pulled that trigger, a fireball came out that bitch. And I put my old muzzle brake back on it because I know that it shoot with it because, you know, the other one, I was just weary about it because of that little ass hole, man. And then, you know, I was watching my brother Johnny Snow. He did a range video where he was at the range and he had one that was similar to that muzzle brake, man. That bullet, man, it blew the whole fucking thing off. That's all I needed. I was suspicious of it to begin with, but that's all I needed to see. As soon as I saw that video, I said, "Fuck that! I'm putting my original brake thing back on it with the yeah, because I know that it shoots because I've shot it plenty of times like that." When you got the funky, you got the one thing I cannot express enough, my brothers and sisters. No matter what you do or whatever decision that you make or whatever plans you got in the case of a home invasion or whatever, make sure that your gun is highly reliable. Make sure it's reliable. Make sure if you got hollow points, you know, self-defense ammunition, please make sure that you test it in that gun, because it may not like that particular hollow point. You don't never want to be in a situation where your life is literally on the line and your gun, you know, jam up or you know, misfire or some shit like that because it don't like the hollow point, the self defense, you know, ammo that you put in it. You know, make sure that it works. Me personally, I got the civil defense, the ones that I got the what you call them, the rounds, damn, I forget the name of them, but they look like a screwdriver, man. They will, yeah, they would put a savage down. The ones that get the screwdriver, and then I got the RIP. I got them, and I got the civil defense, which is my favorite because they go, you know, speed defeats, you know, Kevlar, you know, and they travel 2,000 feet per second. So yeah. So that's my main, and sometimes I'll rotate it with the Underwood. That's what it's called. The ones that look like the screwdriver, it's called the Underwood penetrators. I know YouTube gonna they gonna not monetize this video like they did the one last night. They doing me dirty, y'all. They doing me dirty. That's why when somebody super chat me or make a donation, man, I'm thankful because I ain't making shit off of this. They throwing you pennies. You got to have damn near 50, 60, 70, 80,000, 100,000 subscribers if you want to be able to maintain on here. Thank God I got other businesses and, you know, endeavors that I do, you know, as far as my music and, you know, the security I do every now and then and stuff like that. But you ain't making no money off of YouTube until you get like 100,000 subscribers, maybe 70, 80. And they don't like me, you know. I didn't see what was so harsh in the live that I did last night, y'all. But they didn't monetize it. But it's all good. It ain't gonna stop me, you know. Nothing can ever pull me away from, you know, spreading the word against these savages, you know, to be armed and stuff. But let's be, you know, let's hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. And unfortunately, the more they corner Iran, you know, back them into that wall, I'm telling you, they gonna do some shit, man. I'm telling you, they got a terror cell network that's already in this country. Don't believe me? Go look it up. Homeland Security is already putting out their bulletins for everybody to be on the lookout for anything suspicious. If you see anything suspicious, they got a number that you can call or a website that you can report it. So that lets you know that they believe, even the government is telling you this. Gun Free Nation, listen, I love you. I need y'all to be safe. I need y'all to be armed. I need y'all to be responsible with your firearms. And when that savage comes for you, I don't care whether it's a terrorist, whether it's a American savage, or just a regular fucked up ass criminal that want to come up and do harm to you, put them down. Put them down. Because if you don't put them down, they're going to put you down. You feel me? But I love you, Gun Freak Nation. I'm out of here. I might go live later, man. It's hot as hell. I got to get to this area, y'all. Every bedroom in this house here got an air conditioner in it, but I got a 12,000 BTU AC that's calling my name. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to lay up under this AC. I might even grip my my MPX in my hand while I'm in bed. Let them terrorists come. Let them come. Let them come. I'm going to light they motherfucking asses up. I get them too. You feel me? I love you, Gun Freak Nation. I'm out of here, y'all. I love. Hey, any questions? Anybody want to ask before I'm out of here? Shit, y'all got a whole conversation going on amongst y'all selves in the chat. Thank y'all. Thanks to all of the people that super chatted me. That's a donation. I appreciate it. Check out the my third channel, Electrik Beats. Check that out if you want to see the musical side of me and me, you know, creating stuff, the creative side of me. Go check out my third YouTube channel, Electrik Beats. You know, until the next time, you know. Like I say, I was going to do a regular video, but I'm like, you know what? I enjoy going live and, you know, communicating with y'all in real time, you know. So I think I'm going to do this more often instead of, you know, just uploading the video. PSP, baby, you said when do you think it will happen? That's the thing. Nobody knows when the devil is going to come your way. You know, nobody knows. Nobody knows when the devil going to come your way. This is why you need to be prepared and ready, because you ain't got to get ready if you already ready, right? So we don't know the time and place. They're not going to announce, you know, when somebody about to rob you or plan on doing harm to you, they not going to announce it beforehand to alert you. Because guess what? If you know that it's about to happen, then you're going to get ready, right? So they're not going to announce when all I know is that you use your common sense. Iran got its back up against the wall. Okay? They cornered like a rat. And I ain't even trying to insult nobody, but when you corner a rat, that motherfucker gonna come out swinging. And if they feel that they have nothing to lose, nothing else to lose, then they're gonna utilize everything that they can possibly muscle up. And if that is activating their cells that's been in this country, then that's what they're gonna do. See, what I think was happening right now is United States only bombed them nuclear sites. They haven't even retaliated by sending missiles over into the U.S. bases that's over in Iraq and, you know, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, that's in Jordan. We got bases throughout, you know, the Middle East. But they haven't launched their attack yet, because I'm thinking, you know, sometimes you got to think like your opponent. You have to have the same mindset as your opponent and see it from your opponent's perspective. I think the reason why they ain't attacked a U.S. Army base over there yet is because they already got I mean, they already got Israel bombing the hell out of them, right? So why would they want to stir up and make it even worse by attacking the United States military base over there? And then, so not only do they got to deal with Iran, then we stronger than Israel. Then they got to deal with us. So I think they like, hold on, you know, the United States, they bombed them 3 sites, but they ain't bombing nothing else. Maybe we can endure that shit. Or they might get us back later. It might be some shit where they run up in an embassy or something, or blow up an embassy, or, you know, do some type of mass casualty event, or, you know, you just never know. You never know. That's what's up, PSP. But yeah, they here. That's one thing you can put your bottom dollar on. The terrorist cells are here. We don't know what the target's gonna be. I'm hoping and praying that it ain't a mass casualty event, because that's so easy. It's so many people that's walking around here not armed. They thinking that, you know, the police gonna be Johnny on the spot, gonna be there right in time to save them. No, you got to be your own first responder. Don't wait on the cops to come to your rescue. You know, you setting yourself up for failure. Don't never depend on another man or woman to come to your defense and protect you. Never depend on that. You know, man will let you down, and that's life in general. You know what I'm saying? It's been situations that I've seen where you may have needed somebody financially or whatever, and that person might be there for you, but when you need that person the most, when you need them the most or need her the most, they ain't there. And you got to figure that shit out on your own. Never depend on nobody but yourself. And whatever that caused you to be in that situation where you needed somebody, get yourself up out of that situation. Depend on yourself. Ain't nobody gonna look out for your best interest like yourself. Remember that. Remember that. And especially in the shit hit the fan situation where your life is on the line. Don't expect nobody to come to your rescue. It's not their responsibility. That's number one. So stop having that mindset that somebody owe you something. Really, the police they not responsible for saving your life or protecting you. They not. You have to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself. That's what's up. I like when we all come together and communicate. You know, everybody that's in here, y'all should go and subscribe to each other's channel, and maybe y'all can get emails or something, and communicating. Who knows what this can grow into? As long as it's positive, as long as it's righteous. Like I said, we're not trying to be no militia or anything. I'm not telling nobody to go out and look for trouble, start trouble. I'm not telling nobody to go out there and be a hothead. And some people, I'm gonna stand on it, some people don't need a gun if you got a fucking short fuse. If you got a temper and you want to pull it out of anger to try to prove a point, yeah, motherfucker, I used to be one of them types, man. And I thank God every night that my life was spared. Never again will I do stupid shit like that again. Never again. Ever. I just want to live to die old, man, of natural causes, man. You know, I don't want to die at the hands of a savage, man. But the sad thing is, every day somebody is dying, man. And that's part of life. That's okay. It's a cycle of life. But when you are unnecessarily off this planet due to gun violence or just violence in general, that shit is not cool. That's not cool. And you gotta have enough self-love and respect for yourself not to even get sucked up into a situation that can go, you know, left. You know, keep your integrity, man. Somebody call your name, if it's a road rage incident and they cussing you out, man, smile and have a good day. Don't stoop to their level and argue back with them, because they got you. They arguing with you because they trying to get a reaction out of you. You know what I'm saying? Don't give them the satisfaction. Say, God bless you. Have a good day. Keep it moving. Because the second that you cuss them back out and argue back with them, they're going to up the ante and escalate it. Next thing you know, it might be some gunplay involved. It might be a situation that you can't remove yourself from if they don't pull the gun out. People lose their life damn near every day, if not every day, over the most stupidest, dumbest shit. I'm in the hood. I see shit on the news, hear about shit every day. I heard, you know, y'all ain't heard, you know, it didn't make the news, but it was an incident right here on my block the other day. Kids in the street and you know, playing football. Some kids don't do nowadays, so I love to see stuff like that. But when they football hit one of the neighbors' car, man, you would think that they blew the car up or something, man. They, you know, it might have been a dent in it. I feel a way too, but I'm not gonna take it to the point to where I'm trying to cuss somebody out and threatening somebody to the point to where the police got to come out, where it's like 3 or 4 police cars. Just something like that minute, can spark off and escalate to the point of somebody losing their life, man. We got. If you know better, you got to do better. We got to do better. Gun Free Nation, I love y'all. Yeah, I'm about to jump off. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with the 5.7. You know, everybody, you know, to each his own. I don't see anything. Look, anything is better than nothing. And the 5.7, if you ask me, that's a badass round right there. That caliber, man, is super fast. Depending on what type you got, it can penetrate certain, you know, cavalry, you know, body armor or whatnot. It ain't gonna penetrate no fucking, you know, steel plates or nothing like that. But you know, if they got that soft armor, it's a good chance it's gonna penetrate it. You know, and at the end of the day, everything depends on shot placement. You know, you can have a 45, 357. You can have a 9mm. If you get nicked on the shoulder, you just nicked on the shoulder. You gonna survive it. But you get hit in a vital, you know, organ, center mass, head, you know, heart, you know, the inner thighs where you got your main blood vessels. Man, it can fuck you up. I've heard of people and seen people get took out by 22 long rifles. That's one of the most deadliest rounds because it bounces all around in you. You know, so Anything is better than nothing. Just make sure that it functions. Check the functionality of it. Make sure that it works. Make sure every time when you pull that trigger, it go bang. You know, and if a intruder come in that's armed, you point it at them, have a flashlight on it, ID the target. Don't look at the face. Look for hands. Hands is what's gonna hurt you, not his ugly ass face or her ugly ass face. Hands. Look for hands, cause that you want to see whether they armed or not. And even if they not armed, if you tell them to leave when you confront them and they refuse to leave and they keep you say you take one more step, I'm gonna send you to Funky Town. Because the worst thing that can happen if you let somebody run up on you and they can get to you in a matter of seconds. They could be across the room. It only takes less than a second to run up on you. And if they disarm you, that'd be so messed up, jacked up, man, if you get unalived by your own gun. So yeah, don't never let nobody walk up on you in a hostile situation, because what they're going to do is they're going to take that gun from you. They're going to disarm you and send you to Funky Town. Probably pistol whip you with your own gun if you that weak and that coward enough to let them walk up on you and take your gun. That's why I got so much respect for Carl Rittenhouse. A lot of people talk all that bullshit. He shouldn't have had no AR-15 in the first place. He broke the law, crossing them state lines, and he went there to gun down black folks and not bullshit. People, that's another thing, man. People will go on these rap sites and don't do no research. All you gotta do is just say a white person was about to harm a black person, and they're gonna automatically take it and run with it, not do no research on it, and just believe that bullshit. At the end of the day, I'm tired of this motherfucking mic too. I have to order me another damn mic. At the end of the day, he used his gun, his AR, in self-defense. Because that motherfucker was crazy enough to try to disarm him. And the way I look at it, my logic, the way I think, if you try to take my gun, if you crazy enough to try to take my gun from me, then you crazy enough to shoot me with that motherfucker. So guess what? I'm going to get you before you get me. Okay? The other situation that happened in Georgia, the Ahmaud Arbery, that's a whole different situation. They cornered that guy like he was an animal or something, man. He was desperate. When I first saw his killing, I said, man, he was crazy trying to take that shotgun away from that guy, that right guy, that happened to be right. He was a savage. The white motherfuckers that was involved in that situation were savages, racist savages at that. So, but when I've got all of my facts in the whole story that they had been chasing his ass and running them in ditches and shit and calling them nigger and all that and shit, man, he was going to make his last stand. And he did. He was desperate. And this is why their ass is going to rot in fucking prison, because they didn't have to do what they did to him. They didn't have to do what they did. This is why I say racism, politics, and religion, they were all designed to divide us. At the end of the day, it's only one race, and that's the human race. And it don't matter what color your skin is. What matters is your heart. What's in your heart? Do you got love in your heart? Or do you got mostly hate? Because we all got hate inside of us. Like I hate a pedophile. I hate a serial killer. You know, I got hatred because those type of sick, demonic individuals, they cannot be helped. It's the way they fucking mind, their brain is wired, right? They cannot be helped. You know, I don't think they can be. So yeah, I got hatred in my heart. I got hatred in my heart for the savages that's against me, that want to do harm to me and my family. They deserve it. I don't mess with nobody. I just try to spread the word to get armed because it's people in the world that don't have your best interests in you know, but that's on you. At the end of the day, it all falls in your lap. It's all on you. Whether you want to be a future victim, whether you want to make future funeral arrangements for your loved ones because you wasn't there to defend them because you didn't have a fucking gun and you whining like a, you know what, and rushing to dial 911, hoping and praying that the police get to you in time. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that woman. Fight back. It's your God-given right. Please. We facing some dark days. It's a heat wave right here in Detroit that's, you know, and probably throughout the country. But I'm telling you, we're going to have a hot summer. And I ain't talking about the weather. I think we're going to have a bloody summer, y'all. Whether it's the terror cells that's here, or whether it's everyday savages, or it could be some shit popping off where these protesters / rioters get out of control and try some shit. It might be a combination where the terrorist cells teaming up with the protesters, the rioters, man. Because people like that, they love chaos and they love to create the atmosphere of fear. They thrive in environments like that. That's why I don't trust the left. They thrive in, you know, situations where it's violence, where it's unstable. They hate us because we don't think like they do, which don't make no fucking sense. Because anybody that tell you that you shouldn't have a gun, they out they fucking mind, and you should not listen to them. They're not for your best interests. They're not. I'm gonna start making this damn near every day, man, because I fuck with y'all, because y'all fuck with me, and I fucking love you. Listen, y'all have a good night. I appreciate every single one of y'all that you know, that tuned in. Have a blessed, savage-free night. May you find peace. May you find peace where you lay your head, wherever you at. But also keep that funky town sender nearby, because you never know when they're going to try you. I love you, Gun Freak Nation. Salute. Till the next time. Love you.